Agriculture is crucial. As noted, Africa has 45% of the sustainable agriculture land in the world, and seeing that some estimates suggest the global population will rise to 9 billion people by 2050. Half of that comes from the African continent. The African continent, therefore, is the future breadbasket of the world, and also it has to feed a growing youthful population within Africa, and this is a critical factor for productivity rise in the continent. Agriculture is the most significant employer on the African continent. Over 230 million people are involved in agricultural activities on the continent. Some estimates suggest that over 52% are employed in agriculture, and given the high dependency rates in households, and creating one employment in agriculture serves large families in the African continent. So this is really an important sector for building resilience, for building capabilities, and for providing food security, both in the now and in the future. Smallholder farmers are very important, as the African continent is, the farming on the African continent is largely by small-scale smallholder farmers. Many large number of women are active in smallholder farming, and this has opportunities as well for young people where the rate of unemployment is very high. So when you work with smallholder farmers, you really are working with cooperatives. You're working with farmers who really need incomes, and by creating opportunities for smallholder farmers, you are really boosting incomes for communities and for households. Technology and innovation are very important for Africa's agriculture, especially given the growing climate change challenges, but also to solve some of the old problems associated with access to inputs such as your fertilizer, which affect nutritional value in Africa. And we need to think differently about doing agriculture today on the African continent, especially against the backdrop of your African continental free trade area, to look at the internal market on the African continent to support new and dynamic ways of farming in Africa. And we see a trend as well of many young people who are drawn to agriculture because of the deployment of technology. So this makes agriculture really attractive to youth. They can identify with technology, and technology and innovation are what we perhaps need to use a lot more in addressing some of the long-standing challenges, whether they be with soil regeneration, the kinds of inputs that are utilized, the kind of mechanization or production methods that are utilized, and I think this is also going to be a lot more important as we think about processing from primary to value-added products on the African continent, because that's where more value is generated and more jobs are created and more incomes are earned.